Hey everyone, happy Saturday. We are on the Beltline today and I'm talking with
Aston.
Hey Aston, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
I'm here with Allison and Gabby and we're just having conversations that matter. So our icebreaker for today is, what is your anchor in life? What holds you grounded, gives you purpose, meaning, that kind of stuff?
Some icebreaker, man.
It's a big one, right?
Yeah, man.
We just go right in.
There's too many things. Gravity, just to be weird.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's important.
Physics, yeah, is important for sure.
Physics is one thing, but like gravity, like specifically.
What about personally, like, family, friends, kind of just what your passions are in life, that kind of stuff?
I can't pick one of those things because they all play important roles.
Mm-hmm.
Even if if I forgot something right now, that would be one other thing that's like holding me down. My family, I haven't seen in a minute, so I might have not mentioned them, but I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah. Why don't you just tell me a little bit about that? Where you grew up, what your family structure was like growing up? Did you go to church, that kind of stuff?
Pretty nuclear. Not exactly nuclear, but my mom was a breadwinner.
Okay. You grew up here in Atlanta or Georgia?
I was born in New Jersey. I moved to Atlanta. Went to middle school and high school. Moved up to Charlotte.
Okay.
Did a little college there. I went to college in Florida too.
All right. What did you study?
Aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get anywhere. It's not exciting. I didn't get anywhere with it. I didn't get more than a semester or a year going. I couldn't stay focused or anything. So.
Okay. What was the kind of more like an ADHD thing or something else? You just didn't like it?
It was a lot of that. I wasn't ready for it at all. They call it college prep in high school, but I wasn't ready to physically start doing stuff on my own.
Okay.
So actually coming up with a schedule and sticking to that schedule, following it, and getting everything done, getting my work done, it just blew over my head.
Did you grow up in what was growing up like? You guys?
It was not bad. I had a pretty decent childhood.
What about spiritually? Was there any kind of
Yeah, we would go to church on Sundays for a while. We were Catholic.
Catholic were?
I've been to church in years, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are your parents, they still follow?
My mom might.
Okay.
My dad's Jamaican. They did something else, I guess, at Christian church. I think my grandma would still go to church if she could.
Okay, but you grew up here. I mean, I see the dreads, so I don't know.
I got these. These are some 7-year-old dreads. Maybe 8-year-old dreads.
Okay.
I'm almost 30.
Okay, wow. I wouldn't have imagined that.
Yeah, man.
We'll get a picture at the end, but just so folks can see how not 30 you look.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, so when you were growing up and you kind of learned about the Catholicism, what do you remember about that? Was there anything that was important enough to carry on into your adult life? Things that you remember, things that you use today?
Yeah, it was
principles.
Cool. It was cool at first, because you're a kid, you're just going to church. You gotta, sit in church. It's boring. Stand up, sit down, stand up.
Take communion.
Kneel,
yeah.
Sit down, kneel. And I think it's sit down, kneel, stand up.
So there's a whole order to this.
No,
thing.
yeah.
Is that right?
It depends on the. I think it depends on the day too.
Yeah. You grew up Catholic too, right? So you kind of know the drill. I didn't know there was an actual order to this whole thing.
There is.
I don't remember it exactly, but I think I got it close.
I think you did. I can't remember. It's been so many years.
Yeah, right.
Now, what happens if you get it wrong?
You don't. Everybody's doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't.
You only get it wrong
if
you're sleeping and not there.
You're just not paying attention.
Yeah, basically.
Right, which hopefully you're not, right? But now, was that your biggest takeaway? What did you?
Oh no, I was trying to get into I went to Sunday school. Did the It was Wednesday school. We did the holidays. Went to church on Sunday. It was impactful. I think after we moved to Atlanta, I started noticing. How should I put this? I started to feel singled out. Originally I'm from New Jersey, so it was a little more diverse.
Mm-hmm.
I come to Atlanta. We're living in the north side of Atlanta. The churches, mostly white people. There were no black people. I felt singled out. I felt alone. I had to like throw race into it, but that's the only way it comes to mind. And it wasn't that. I did actually feel like ignored.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. When I was young, I actually had a chance to talk to the priest of the church who spoke the sermon. And I could like ask him a couple of questions. It's like, wow, that's interesting. He answered me. They had a little guessing game or something like that. It was more interactive, and I felt heard or something like that. But I still had unanswered questions. And when I came to Atlanta, I was like even more unanswered questions that I had. And eventually, I was like, I need to find my own answers. I told my mom, I don't want to go to church anymore. I don't feel welcome. I don't want to go to this Wednesday school anymore. I don't feel fit in.
Well, I love the fact that you had unanswered questions. You weren't feeling like fulfilled or led, so you didn't just go through the motions and continue going.
No, I can't.
No, I love that, and it sounds like you're a seeker of truth. You want to know answers to things, right? You don't want just people to give you words and things just to placate you and say, just have faith.
I have to say, it's more fun now that I have sought actual truth when people just give me words and placate, because they are answering my questions, even if they're lying or BSing me. But before it was really frustrating because I was looking for actual answers, and it's just like whatever they had of going through the motions, as you said.
So, what about questions about Jesus? Do you have anything specific? We're Jesus followers, and so we just...
Specifically, like Jesus followers?
I would say we're non-denominational Protestant. We go to a Protestant church,
Okay.
Baptist, so it's not
Okay.
Catholic, but, same Jesus, right?
Yes.
It's the Jesus that you learned about. He's the same one that we follow, and that we worship, and that we kind of spend our lives just trying to emulate. So is that the Jesus that you kind of grew up with, or what do you know about him? What would you say who Jesus is?
I feel like they skimmed over him a lot. I hardly remember a lot of the things that they spoke, but it was just like, this is Jesus. He was perfect. Do what he did. I come to find out later, he's kind of a loser.
What do you mean?
Yeah, go into that.
It's cool. Trust me, it's cool.
No, I'm curious.
It's good stuff. It was just a YouTube channel I was watching. It was just a philosophy channel. It was like, I'm saying he's basically a loser. Gave away all his stuff. He just walked around. He had a good life, decent life, 2 parents, taking care of him, and he just like walked around and bossed people around. And that took me a minute to figure out, but all right, I'll look into it. So basically, I realized he came here and he was like, you guys are doing this all wrong. And he realized that's how we've been doing it, and it's how it's done. And he was like, oh, what do I actually know? I haven't been here ever. I've never been here before, and I'm messing this up myself. I can't get it right, so
this is Jesus talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he realized you know what, I can't let my legacy live like this. I need to be crucified. He asked his best friend, his closest friend, to betray him in front of everybody.
He asked him to?
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about Peter or John?
Judas.
Judas. Okay. Because technically, all the disciples walked away at one point or another.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of... But I get what you're saying. Yeah, Judas. And so go ahead. Sorry. Finish up. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. He asked him to betray him, to save his legacy, so that the people didn't learn the corrupt way that he was working, or that they might have learned as he learned how people were, as he had become a person, because this is God sending himself down, as his son, as flesh and bone. This is basically a different being, and he had to learn himself, like what Earth was like as it had changed since its creation.
Okay, no, that's fair. So I got most of that. I think there's a couple of things that I might have to tweak.
It's just how I put it together. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's good. I appreciate you giving that detail. And so maybe what I can do now is just share the gospel message. So I think you got most of it right. There's a couple things you need to tweak.
Okay.
So basically, God did live a perfect like Jesus, right? But before that, God had created the world. He designed it to be perfect, right? And so that was the Garden of Eden. And so we believe in the Trinity. So there's Father, Son, Holy Spirit. They were co-eternal, co-equal for eternity past all the way to the future. So Jesus isn't a created being. He came into earth, created. There was an incarnation of flesh, but he was always spirit from eternity past.
Right. So like the way I see it, you can't actually create anything new.
Yeah.
It's science now. Sorry. But like you can't make a new thing. You have to change something that was already there.
Okay.
But essentially creating Jesus as flesh, even if he was eternal, he was somewhere else before, and he had never been here.
Right. You're talking about the second law of thermodynamics, I'm assuming. When you said matter can't be created or destroyed, only changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that I think Jesus and God are kind of outside of space, time, and actually physics, because he created all of those things, right? Which is kind of outside of what I was really trying to get to. Let me just finish sharing the gospel part, and then we can kind of get back to that part. But basically, God created everything good, designed. You probably heard the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve, they broke fellowship, right? Because they disobeyed God. And so, but everything was cool before that, right? Everything was beautiful. There was no issue, no sin, no bad things happened.
I think it was
earthquakes, storms.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there.
I'm sorry. I blurted it out. I'm sorry. Forgive me, please.
No,
it's okay. You're here to talk. We're here to hear from you.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like we have these conversations. People tell us what we want to hear. I appreciate your vulnerability and like you sharing what you think, what you actually think.
Yeah. No, definitely. So in the garden, thing was good. I think maybe that's why they ate the apple, right? They were like, this is too good. I'm kind of bored. I just want to go eat this apple.
Like I heard they got duped into it.
Well, yes, the serpent, the devil tempted Eve and kind of misdirected them, right? And so they did that, then we broke fellowship with God at that point. So now sin entered the world. So if you think about like 3 circles, there's a good design, circle number 1. Circle 2 is brokenness, and now we're in this current state. So what we do is we try to find all these different things to make us whole and happy and fulfilled and, accepted by other people, right? Whether it's drugs, alcohol, people, relationships, right? Good things. Work, career, money, right? We all try to find these things that make us happy, but they don't ultimately satisfy. I think if you've been around long enough, you'll know that. And you're 30, you probably figured it out. These things don't ultimately satisfy you. And so what happened, Jesus and God knew this, so that's why Jesus had to come. Circle number 3, he had to come down to earth, pay for our sins on the cross. But it doesn't stop there. It actually ends with him resurrecting on the 3rd day. So that was the final piece where he's able to take our sin on the cross, and then forever, for eternity, we can live with him because he's resurrected with God in heaven now. So he's alive. And so now we can continue to pursue back to that original design. That's why we're here, to spread the good news. The gospel is actually called the good news. Because Jesus paid it all, we don't have to do works to actually maintain our relationship with God and maintaining eternity with him. So that's the gospel. Gabby, did I miss anything? Anything in there you want to add? So, does that sound like good news based on how I explained it? Is that how you kind of understood it before?
The results, how I understand it, I just feel like I did a lot of work to like fix my relationship with God. I feel like it paid off.
Okay.
And it ends up being, oh no, you didn't really have to like do anything. Like you know, like you said, like done for you. But at the, you know, it's like I find that the truth is misleading. Yeah. Just because of how it is. Maybe it's because of our perception. Maybe it's because of language. For some reason, like it's weird. Like the actual true thing, when you give it to somebody, they have to like look at it like, what is this? This isn't it. Or like, what is this?
So it's hard to take in.
Yeah, you can't just like accept truth. You can't just accept the true thing or the actual, because if you think about it, like all the stuff that's here, anything you observe, you don't actually see it. Like it's you just know it's there. Like you have a perception, like you think it's there. Like I could show you something potentially, and you think it's there, and it's not there. Like just like a trick.
Well, you mentioned gravity earlier, right? We can't see gravity, but we know it exists.
You can absolutely observe it, though. And I can show you a trick where
I'm not floating away, right?
Right.
So
I can show you a trick where there is no gravity. If we all get in a big airplane and I fly it like that, you will think there's no gravity.
Like an arc.
Yeah, I can actually show you an arc out here with no gravity. There's no gravity. I'm floating. So it's all perception and that and no matter what you do, it's gonna diminish the truth in some fashion.
Yeah. So do you have a relationship now? How would you characterize it now? Do you have a church home that you go to? Do you have a?
No, I just talk to people, whoever wants to talk to me, whoever I can reach out to.
Yeah.
I feel like the church, it's fine, it's good, but it's also just like the way the truth is corrupted as you try to observe it. The church is an institution with many, many, many other perceptions in front of it, including our U.S. government, including the old English government, including the old art forms that are posted on the walls that make up the windows. Everything is something that was there before that's had time to be messed with. And that's good for when you need it, if you need it. People need it.
Yeah.
I have been without, and I'm not against going to it, but I've been without.
Yeah.
It's just where I am.
What would you say your relationship is with God right now?
Just like this right here.
Do you pray? Do you have a
literally me talking to you and you?
Okay.
That's my relationship with God. Like if I talk to them over there, if I speak to another person, if I talk in my head, if I need to call my mom or my sister or my dad, my aunts.
Do you feel like you ever?
Watching people around here.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have a follow up on that?
Yeah. So like, if somebody came up to you and like, this is like a huge question. I don't even know how I would answer it, but I'm just curious to get like, you're saying your relationship with God is based off other people and talking to other people. Is that correct? What you said? So then like, how would you describe God if somebody came up and asked you? You don't.
Yeah, it's not allowed. It according to the Bible, depicting God is against the rules.
Okay.
I can try.
Yeah.
It's a sin.
But like to you, God is the relationship that you have with other people. Is that how you would describe it?
Do you see the problem? As soon as because of what God actually is, as soon as you try to describe God as here, this is God right here, you think you've caught something that's not it. Like you're just taking a piece of something, or if you will, a piece of God, especially because that's what you're reaching out to.
Right.
But like that's just a piece of it. My relationship with people is just a piece of it. I believe my perception is also a part of my relationship with God. So my interactions with people, my interactions with the world, the earth itself, what I eat, what I drink in general, me taking care of myself, my grooming, taking a shower, coming out here to sweat, twisting my hair. It's a part of my relationship with God.
So we're about 20 minutes in. I want to be respectful of your time. I think we're going to try and wrap up. But a couple of things I wanted to respond to. You said about truth and then your relationship with God. Like, we believe that there's absolute objective truth. So whether the world, the church, the world, people, all are sinful and they fall short of God's glory. It says in Romans 3:23, I believe. So none of us can attain that perfection. So we're only just a dim reflection of what God is. So I can look at you and say, yeah, you have a reflection of God, but it is going to be a dim reflection. Maybe that's kind of what you were going at earlier, right? And so I think all of us are trying to seek that that goodness and that perfection. So you can do that through prayer, through other people, through church, through worship. I would encourage you to do all those things, and also find a tribe of people that like-minded people that are doing the things that you're doing, loving God, worshiping Him. So that's all good stuff. We have a church you go to. It's called Blueprint around the corner.
Okay.
It's really close. If you're interested at some point, that would be great. And then also just truth. We think this is an objective truth claim that Jesus really came into the world, died for our sins, and then rose on the third day. So that means all other worldview claims are necessarily false, right? And so we just believe that if you continue to, and how you have that relationship with Him, I talked about earlier with the gospel and the three circles, it's just faith, right? You're putting your faith and trust in God and saying, hey, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to deny myself at times because I'm going to follow your plan, not mine. And so walking it out. We said we have to trust and believe, but then it's all about walking it out, right? How do you follow Jesus and then live according to His call in your life? He's going to put a call on you like He has us. That's why we're here today, talking to you. So just some encouragement. Any other final thoughts from Gabby or Aston? Yeah.
From you, if you had any final thoughts.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up? We're gonna ask you to pray at the end, but
Okay, that's all I had.
That's it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the interview?
No, that was fun. Yeah.
Cool. I love it. All right, guys, we are done. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.